Greetings and salutations, everyone. I do hope everyone is still doing well, and welcome to this night-ending bonus upload. Before we jump into it, a couple quick links. As many of you know, I rely on Patreon, PayPal, channel membership, and the merch to help the channel to continue to grow and go. Links to Patreon, PayPal, and channel membership is in the description below. Merch displayed directly under the video. Also, Dogman Frightening Encounters, Volume 1 through 3, the audiobook versions. They were written and researched by Tom Lyons, narrated and produced by me, Jeff Nadolny. Those audiobooks are available on Audible, Amazon, and iTunes, links to which are also in the description as well. And finally, last but definitely not least, if you'd really like to help support this channel to continue to grow and go, simply subscribe. It does not cost a cent. Click the like button, takes half a second. If you don't want to miss out on any of the informative uploads I put out daily, click the bell icon, and folks, please leave a comment and share the video. Why? Well, because all these things really do help the channel to continue to grow and go. They definitely matter, and they are appreciated. And with that, I have taken far too much of your time. Let's jump in to this night-ending bonus upload, shall we? Today's first terrifying video is going to be a father and son going for a walk in the woods, and they stumble across something that is, well, pretty terrifying if you ask me, if you're with your small child. It's very vocal, and it does not appear happy that these two are in the woods. Check it out.
Come on, man, let's do a nature walk.
Alright.
Woohoo! Do I get it? Yeah. Let's do nature walk. Come on, let's go.
Ice don't break. Oh.
Wait. Shh. What is that? Shh. What is it? Hey, get over here. Get over here, Rafe. What is that? What is that? Stay behind me. What is it? Are you kidding me? All right, let's go. Go, Rafe, go. Hold on, sorry, so let's stop. Hold on, listen. What is it? What is it? Is it following us? Stay right there. Go!
Definitely a super creepy clip. I'm not sure what to make of it, but like I say in every video, you guys decide. Today's second video clip is a couple guys cruising around in a UTV, and they just so happen to catch something while recording one of their drives and don't realize it until they get home. Check it out. This actually, to me, looks real. I'm going to say about 85% of my opinion says this is real. Check it out, guys.
Hey, you like Norm MacDonald?
Yeah, dude, he's great.
You ever hear that one he does on alcoholism?
No.
It's like, I got a friend, Jimmy. Jimmy's, he's an alcoholic. I said, Jimmy, yeah, it's true you got the disease, but out of all the diseases, I think you got the best one. Since it's the only disease where you get to drink all the time. He says, you go to a bar, you meet a girl who's got the same disease as you do, and you fuck.
That's fucking great, dude.
And
Like I said, guys, I don't know if it's real. I wasn't there. So I can't 100% say, yes, this is what we caught. This is. But looking at it, looking how it runs, I really say 85% of me, or my opinion, is that this is a real video. This is a real Sasquatch captured on video. All right, and today's final video before we get into a interview with Bo is a couple of guys from Australia, and they claim they caught the elusive Yowie. You decide.
Sammy, what was that? What was that? What was that? Sammy, wait, did you say that?
There's a lot of commotion going on. I'm not sure. That's why with this one, I'm leaving it up to you guys. I'm not even going to put a percentage out there. Let's get into today's interview with our friend Bo. Hey Bo, what's up? How are you today? Happy birthday.
I appreciate it. Hanging in there.
Good stuff. So what's been going on? You texted me earlier and said something happened.
Two things. The Sasquatch that had been on the mountain, the same troop that I'd been around.
The original family?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I was there, and the big male, well, the young male come up. He was acting a bit odd and just kind of like watching over his shoulder and around and just acting really strange. So we sat there for a few minutes, and there was 3 juveniles come up the hill. About 30 minutes after he got there, then 3 come up. He was standing there beating on his chest, throwing around rocks, tree branches, kind of like a gorilla.
Like King Kong, kind of.
Yeah, pretty much. He King Kong. He said, "Hey, this is my place. Y'all go on."
Yeah, yeah.
But I found something far crazy. So after I got out of the woods, I was listening to your channel on the way back in, and y'all were talking about how dogmen hunt. Well, if where I was hunting that today. He's there, and I was kind of just scouting around, looking around. Well, there's this big clear cut. And I see a couple hogs down below. Next thing I know, here comes this big black shape sliding up through the tree line. And it wasn't as tall as it should have been, so I knew it wasn't the Bigfoot walking. It was not. So I thought maybe the Dogman. So I flipped up the scope thing I had. And it was a cougar.
Really?
I'm checking the pigs. Well, I got to watch him for a minute, and the cougar is getting close, and he's slowly creeping up. He gets us like on top of a down tree and starts to jump on his back. And next thing you know, claw comes out from behind the tree, snags the cat by the nape of the neck, and proceeds to chomp on him. The Dogman hunted the mountain lion that was chasing the pigs.
Holy shit.
He legitimately snuck up on him and just, I never seen him. And I was watching this all happen, and I don't know how he got there. He reached out, grabbed the damn mountain lion, reached up, and as it went to, if you grab a cat, how it'll wrap up around you.
Yeah.
That's the way it started doing to him, and he bit on it twice, and it just fell. Pigs went to squalling, and you could hear the rest of the pack start yipping and howling as they started coming up around on them. So I think they might have been hunting the pigs, seen the mountain lion, thought he was a nice little snack on the side.
Right.
Because he put a hurting on him.
Wow. And, he you didn't see him, but what's crazy enough is that mountain lion didn't even hear it coming up, man. Holy shit.
Right. Exactly. You was talking yourself about how smart they are and how advanced they are.
Yep.
A mountain lion is technically top of the food line chain right here.
Yeah. I mean, they are an apex predator.
And they're extremely sensitive hearing, extremely keen eyesight. I mean, they can see a mouse running across the field, for God's sake. And how he never seen him, heard him, nothing. All it was a snag, and he's done.
How he never felt him is crazy. Because most cats, even
most of the
regular
time,
cats,
I feel heavy air atmosphere around when they're around.
Yeah. Or just like the movement on the ground. You know what I mean? Like,
that's exactly what I was talking about. Like him sneaking up on it, how he never heard it, but all of a sudden it was snagged him, bit him, and he was done. But I had to tell you, so I was calling and texting like I did him.
Did you hightail it out of there? What happened after that?
Oh, I sat there for a few minutes and watched him.
Right.
Hell, the pigs come running, and a couple of little juveniles come running with the pigs, but the one just sitting there eating them, man. Mountain lion, I'll get one none.
Wow, that's insane.
I just thought that was insane that he snuck up on him.
On your birthday too. Happy birthday, right?
Yeah, we went up there after work, just kind of get out of the house, go up there and kind of just be in the woods for a little bit.
Yeah.
And like I said, we was standing there on a big old clear cut that they'd done off a couple months back, or a couple years back. And like I said, I seen him running around down there, so I kind of stalked around across the ridge with him, just watching them, so I know when I go hunting where to hunt up at. But 3 dogmen in one area, it's probably not a great idea to hunt there when he snuck up on
that easily too. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's time to leave. Wow.
Well, 3 of them And one of them snuck up on it, went by himself so close and got that thing. But yet the other two, I never seen them till they bolted out.
Did they come the same way the mountain lion came?
Not really. Like I said, I don't know where the one come from. I'm sitting there watching it and never seen him come.
No, I mean, like, okay, so if the mountain lion was coming out of the, off to the side or whatever, that one obviously just came out of pretty much nowhere. The juveniles came off of that side as well?
Yeah, they was up the hill a little ways.
Okay.
It kind of has like a little point that the mountain lion is up on top of a little bit of a hill, comes out to like a point where the trees have fell.
Yep.
And as he was sitting on top of it, I guess the Dogman coming up the road there said, snack.
That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. I knew something was up because very seldom, every once in a while, you usually send me an email, and I was doing something. I didn't hear my phone ring, and I checked my phone, and I saw you had called, left a message, and texted me, and I was like, holy shit, something's up. Something is going on right there. And
yeah,
that's insane.
Sorry, I was still kind
of pumped up, man. I understand.
I was pumped up,
Don't apologize.
I
I knew something was up because, like I said, normally you email me, and this was like something really happened. Holy shit! I better give him a call back.
Yeah, like I said, it was crazy because, like I said, seeing this and then trying to get out of there so I could, holler at you later. And as I started out the mountain, I heard one, and I was like, no freaking way.
Yeah. I mean, you must have been shitting bricks getting out of there.
Like I said, they probably down 100, 125 yards from me. So, I wasn't too worried about them.
Right.
But I definitely noticed, hey, they're going that way. I'm going this way.
Now, I'm assuming that you got a pretty good look. So, were they the ones that were up on the other mountain ridge that you were talking about last time?
They seeming to be. They more staying down on all four.
Okay.
I don't know if it's
a
different species, like inside them, or if it's just where they just stay down low more. It's the only times I've really seen them either A, running, or sitting there eating a damn mountain lion.
Right.
So
maybe the hunt got them, low. Who knows?
It's a possibility. Like I said, I don't know. I've not really seen them too much to know, but the one time I did see them, I paid attention. The pigs walking around, looking, seeing if there's any deer sign and whatnot. So I'm thinking, hell, there's at least some pigs around here. And then I've seen the mountain lion coming down, just sneaking up on them. And then, like I said, it blows my mind. It was just two hairy arms reach up, snag him off the tree, and he's done.
Yeah, that is absolutely friggin' insane. I'm visualizing it as best as I can, and mentally, it's definitely probably not as crazy as what you saw. Holy shit.
Yeah, so I was kind of like, I gotta tell him. I gotta tell somebody.
Yeah, and that mountain lion was definitely not any kind of match at all. It was just a snack.
Well, like I said, it crawled up on him, and I thought it might at least cut him up.
Yep.
Didn't look like it done too much to him by the time it kicked him off, and he was gone again.
Wow.
But
that's insane. How far was this from your old cabin?
About 6 or 8 miles.
Okay, so it's a different spot entirely, kind of.
It's different. You go across the creek there's a river, and you go across, and instead of going up where we usually go, we go up on top at this. And here, you know, it's Red Ash Mountain. You got like New River. You got Beach Grove, Bryce Hall, New River, you know, Boot Jack. But
Jesus. You're a lucky man to, you know, I mean, yeah, you were 125 yards away, but still, that's nothing for one of them things, you know what I mean? You know damn well.
yeah, it don't take them long to clear it, trust me.
Especially running on all fours.
Well, like I said, you know, when he grabbed the one, the pigs kind of jumped.
Yeah.
And they kind of ran, you know, maybe 20, 30 yards up the gravel road and stopped. And about 30, 40 yards up the hill from where he was at, they come running out. So, I mean, they was pretty much right up aligned with where they come in.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay. And then,
wow. Yeah, it's definitely time to get out of there at that point. So prior to that is when you saw the juvenile, or not the juvenile anymore, but the new male alpha, right?
yeah.
Same day. So that was today that you saw him as well, right?
Then we seen him today, but no, the other one had been earlier on in this weekend, last weekend.
Okay.
But it was, I'm trying to get this out with us. Yeah, earlier on, like Friday, I think it's Saturday evening.
All right.
But for him to be just now fully matured,
no, do you think he's
he done extremely well versus 3 of them. So,
yeah.
I mean, I understand why his daddy was the alpha of the whole mountain.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Did you see the fight or no?
Yeah, for the most part. They kind of, it looked like wrestling matches. Throwing each other around. Basically him throwing the 3. And one old boy that I know, he says that it's 3 brothers.
Okay.
But I don't know. I've not I've not figured it out. I've not been around them enough to know.
You've seen the family, you know, I mean, you've witnessed some shit that we haven't. So, like, you've seen, like, the old male, the alpha, teach the juvenile to become who he is now. You've seen them play. You've seen them, you know, rough fight or whatever, play fight.
A lot of the time they wrestle and stuff,
right.
But whenever you'd see like him and the big one walking through the woods, like I told you about the time, seen him he literally ran a deer into the younger one's arms.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, so he literally pretty much, like you said, taught him everything he knows.
Right. Could this have been just like, I mean, was it a fight or could it have been like, hey, you know, this is my place? Just, I mean, yeah, it was a fight, but kind of like a schoolyard, like
a territorial, hey, you know, go back over.
Yeah, not really wanting to kill, but, you know, this is my place.
Well, he didn't go for nothing real, like, deadly,
right.
I should say, like that. Be the best way to say it. Like I said, he threw him around a lot.
Right.
He didn't really strike them. He didn't really hit them with the, you know, basically it looks like hooks, like a right hook, left hook.
Okay.
A big hammer fist from the top. That's what he done to the Dogman.
Right.
Hit him top the head.
I mean, well, his dad taught him, like you said, his dad taught him everything, you know, I mean, and I didn't know maybe if it was just not friendly, but, you know, kind of, you know, how men are, they dick around and shit
exactly.
like that.
You get a bunch of guys around each other, and sooner or later it's going to be a squabble. So
yeah, and then pretty good.
Especially when you got 2 different sets of them.
Yep, yeah. That's pretty crazy too. I mean, Jesus. I mean, imagine what's going on that when you're not around, you know? I mean, it's
Well, like I said, you know, me knowing where to go and looking for them. So when I go up there, I can go and try to look and see if they're around, how they're doing, you know, checking in on them. But, yeah, that was a little interesting.
yeah, most definitely. I'm just shocked. The whole thing with the Dogman and the mountain lion is absolutely, because, I mean, even if it's not a mountain lion, cats, just regular cats, and they feel any kind of movement, you know, I mean, you step hard on the ground, they're going to jump, you know, if they're occupied on something. You know, this Dogman must have been real stealthily closing in on it, possibly in the trees, or who knows. I mean, I hate saying portals all the time, but possibly portal, who knows. But Jesus, I mean, to be that quiet.
Like I said, it was right there on that corner, and then he's laying up there getting ready to jump down. So you know he's fully aware. His senses are through the roof at that point. And somehow, he's, like I said, reached up, grabbed him off there with the first hand by the neck, and the other one by about his hip. And when he went to rape him around him, he went toward his right shoulder and kind of wrapped around toward his left. But the Dogman just pulled him right back down, chomp, chomp, and he's done.
Absolutely insane.
And now I'm kind of looking at it going, okay, there's at least 3 that I know of now running.
Yep.
And like I said, you could hear them yipping and hollering up in the hills. So I know at least there's a few more.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder how many more were out there and around.
Yeah, I've been wondering that myself, sitting there going, if I go up here, and what would be the easiest way to do it, but the safest?
Yeah, yeah. I think better off bringing a friend, someone to watch your 6 with you, at least, that you can trust, that you know has your eyes.
It's an experience, yeah.
You know?
Well, you know me, mine would be TJ.
Yeah, but you can't bring TJ with the baby and stuff anymore, you know?
Exactly. So I said, I gotta be careful, but still, I wanna.
That is insane, man. I cannot believe it. On your birthday, no less either. I mean, you know, what kind of...
What's the chances?
Yeah. I mean, that's a sighting of a lifetime, you know? That's just something through your scope, you know? I mean, so you're getting, a real good visual on it. Just, I can't even imagine.
It was close up enough, it made me kind of, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Whenever I looked through it and seen the Dogman's face, after last year, 2 years ago now, actually, but I still kind of
some
have to watch
PTSD.
them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of. It's the best way to put it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's crazy, man. Wow. Listen, do me a favor. If you do go out again, be careful, all right? Because
Oh, most definitely. I think I'll stick to my mountain.
Yeah, stick to your side of your mountain and screw everywhere else. You know,
Yeah.
it kind of sucks that you're not having pork chops tonight, though, but you got to see that good sighting.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I wasn't really up there doing nothing. I was just kind of scouting around, just chilling.
Yeah. That's funny.
You know, what now?
Yeah.
And spooked me for a minute, because like I said, it was so just bam.
Yeah.
It wasn't what I was expecting to happen in that moment.
That's pretty fucking crazy, man. Wow.
But it's also the second time I've seen that panther up there in the mountains, too, though.
Really? How big is he?
Panther
How
dog.
big was he?
He's about 6-7 foot long.
Oh shit! So that panther was not a small panther at all.
It's still good size. But they said sorry to bug you. I just figured you'd want to
Brother, you
hear it.
didn't bug me at all, man. Happy birthday. Do me a favor. Don't hang up. I want to talk to you a little bit after I hit stop on this. All right.
All right.
All right. Thank you again, and happy birthday again, man.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
All right, guys. I really enjoy talking with Bo. This is an older interview. I wanted to just compile some videos and a really good interview with Bo. You guys can hear how quick these creatures are. I mean, it took out a mountain lion or cougar. Very, very cool interview. Bo's one heck of a guy. I really enjoy having him on. And today's next video is a couple of kids. They spot some red eyes out in the woods. No idea what it is. Some creepy footage.
Yeah. Whoa, get down. Oh my god, that's it. I think so. Whoa. No, keep your light on it. Keep your light on it. Oh, shit, it's across the creek. Whoa. Holy shit. Well, I definitely don't think it's a bear anymore. Whoa, whoa, get down. Get down. It's right there. It's oh, you know. Whoa, whoa, whoa. We gotta. This is why we're here. This is why we're here. We gotta get a good shot of this. What? Oh my god, it's gone. Just go. Okay. Oh.
Definitely not sure what that is, but this one with red eyes is a little more believable for me. I mean, you can see a shape of this thing when it jumps after these kids.
Hey Tom, guys.
What? Oh my god.
What is that?
Oh my.
That's it. That's it. Oh my gosh. Oh.
What is it?
I don't know.
Oh crap! It's coming.
Oh my god.
What is it, dude? What is it?
You need to jump. Come on, get down here with us.
You'll have to jump.
Come on,
Tom.
get
Not jump. This is too high.
Dude, if you don't jump, it's gonna get you. You have to jump.
Oh my gosh!
Come on, Tom.
Oh, swim, man.
Swim, Tom. Swim.
Oh my god! Did you see it?
No. No, we've not seen it.
Oh my gosh, dude! Did you see that?
Thank God you're here, man. That's the same thing we've been seeing.
That's it. Let's get out of here. Let's find out what that thing was. Dude, it's right up there. Look. Sorry, man. Why does it keep
We gotta go like right now. Now. What? There it is.
Did you see it? Do you see it?
No, hold on. Dude, if we get this on camera. There it is. That's it.
Dude, why does it keep chasing us?
I don't know. Oh my goodness. That is,
Dude,
oh my
I think it's about
gosh.
to jump in the water. Are you serious?
Oh my gosh!
Let's go!
What the heck? It's chasing the boat, Tom! Go!
And like I said, I don't know what that is. You can see an outline of the figure. It is very, very creepy how everyone's acting. You can hear terror in the kids' voices. or guy's voice as he's screaming for his friend Tom. It's pretty mind-blowing, if you ask me. And tonight's final video is a guy who walks out into the woods and stumbles upon a very, very terrifying scene. Check it out.
There's something in these woods right now. I swear to God. I heard it. I saw it. I didn't see it, but I saw it. Just heard something just now. What is that? Oh my God!
All right, this is the midway, I guess we'll call it, of this early morning, middle of the night bonus. Kind of a two-parter. I was homeschooled for most of my life, and it was very hard to keep track of time for me at this time, and years often had little distinction for me, with no reason to keep track of time outside of a young child's countdown for important holidays and birthdays. I did not start registering what day of the week it was until I started public school at 15, but I do have clear memories of events I confirmed happened when I was 3. So I do feel I have a good recollection of this. I grew up on a farm that was sold by my grandmother over 5 years ago behind our backs to a farmer we rented our fields to after we had been promised the 114 acres my family had been taking care of all of my life. We didn't have much of a structure to our homeschooling, so it was often us doing things we could mark off as educational for the homeschool evaluator at the end of the year, which meant we only had to give her a sample of physical homework, and this my mother rarely had us do, until we needed them close to that evaluation. I say all of this to tell you just how much time I spent in these woods. It was my gym, and I could head out and play or walk the woods and stalk or chase after whatever animal I came across all day if I felt like it. I was a stupid kid when it came to wild animals. I once tried to pet an animal I thought was a cat that I had cornered under our back porch step. But looking back, I know it was clearly a raccoon. Glad its hissing told me off and I didn't stick my hand under there to pet it. There were also coyotes in these woods, but my mom didn't believe this until she heard it from a man she allowed to trap on the property a few years before we were forced to move. I was likely little small to be alone in the woods, as I would see them lined up against the tree line as I cut through the fields, watching me sometimes. I swear there were 8 all watching me. This one time, I used to run towards the dogs, which, thankfully, simply scared them back into their burrow. As I became older, I never saw these coyotes, which makes me think they were likely looking for a snack. I saw a few animals that were off to me during my walks, and I recorded them in a notebook with other odd experiences sometime after this event. This notebook disappeared when I was 11 or something. The encounter itself happened in full daylight sometime in the early afternoon. I was shooting arrows at a haystack behind the barn. I wasn't with anyone. My dad was working in his shop. These weren't anything sharp, but we still had a good safety practice with them. I practiced so often at this time I honestly was not bad at all. This was a handmade English longbow made to my height, so they were quite easy for my child self to pull into position at my cheek. I haven't found a modern bow to work as easily, but I didn't learn a lot about those, and haven't done anything like that for a long time. I would go back and forth retrieving my arrows, as I only had 3 if I completely missed the haystack with my spray-painted target. These could go pretty far past them. We had a pasture off to my left connected to the barn and a large field all along my right. When the pasture ended, the field carried on for about twice the distance. The land was bridged together by woods that started after the pasture ended, so I just had a grass clearing far off into the distance where I would search for my painfully natural-looking arrows. As I was retrieving them, I noticed at the end of a far pasture, we had one fenced in with wire, but not usable, so it was just a chicken field. There's a large, sort of bulky, if not muscular-looking dog sitting somewhat oddly. I'm close enough to see its shape quite distinctly, but being fully black, there weren't a lot of details to make out, but I believe it may have had a dog-like snout, as I am pretty convinced I was looking at a dog. My parents didn't have a dog, so curious to see one on the property, I wanted to approach the animal to see if I could befriend it. This seemed perfectly natural at the time, probably sounds pretty natural still, but I suddenly thought that I didn't notice it until I looked up and it was quite close to me, meaning it might have been sitting there watching me for a potentially long time. 10 or so feet from the corner of the outer fence, it stood beside what was a rather marshy, overgrown grass and green area. It sat there a minute as I began to get even closer to it, and then pushed itself up, no longer sitting. I remember it looked so much taller doing that, like the length of its arms/front legs were hidden by the black hair and distance. I say arms because this thing started swinging itself into the grass on its knuckles exactly like an ape. I saw it make maybe 3 of these motions and it was gone. I'm unsure if this animal had a tail or not. I think its movement had disturbed me at the time, but for whatever reason, after walking all the way back to the barn, I simply told my dad I had just saw a dog. I did talk about weird experiences with an acquaintance who lives in the area before, and she was convinced she had seen something like I had described at one point. I don't recall if she ever shared her experience with me, though. I'm thinking this person definitely saw a Dogman, and they definitely know they saw a Dogman. I don't know how, if it was such a grassy, high grassed field, they were able to see it running on their knuckles. Maybe they just envisioned it running on its knuckles, how it kind of ran. Maybe it ran with its front legs together, moving in unison, and then the back legs moving in unison as well. Definitely a Dogman sighting, though, especially in Pennsylvania. Today's second experience on the paranormal side. A long time ago, when I was a child of about 11 years old, living on a rural farm, I had a friend, a boy my age. He was the neighbor's grandson. She was a lovely woman who lived down the road. Her property connected to ours, and the end of her driveway was the local school bus stop. I used to visit before school for a cookie and a chat. Sometimes her grandson would visit, and we would get up to mischief with a quad bike, and there was also a go-kart that sat in the middle of the garden. Sometimes we would climb the hay barn and sit at the top, but it was the quad we had the most fun with. We would try to make a ramp over the ditch in the front paddock, and probably the most dangerous was a game where we would try to push each other off of the quad while we were driving, taking in turns trying to knock each other off, and then racing away while the one pushed off chased after to catch up, and then we'd start all over again. This was very dangerous and kind of stupid. I realize that now, but as a kid, I was invincible and naive, but this was normal with us. Once we even climbed the giant hill behind my house and raced each other rolling down it. That time there was a girl with us too, Melissa. I never saw her again after that, but I digress. This story is about Justin. He was kind of cute with his blonde hair and blue eyes, but I was at the stage where boys are gross, and sometimes he would tease me and make me upset. Now, so far, everything sounds normal, right? Well, this is where things get weird. One day we're hanging out on the upper level of the hay barn, and he was talking about jumping off onto the dirt road below. He tried to dare me to jump, and I got scared and refused. It was a long way down, and I didn't want to hurt myself. I'd been practicing jumping off the shed roof at home, as this wasn't the first time he had talked about, but that roof was only a quarter of the height, and I would land on grass and still hurt myself a bit. Anyway, he started teasing me and calling me names like chicken and making chicken noises. I got really upset and started to cry. He said, "Don't be such a wuss. I did it and I'm fine." I called him an idiot as I climbed down. I told him I wasn't playing with him anymore and I ran home. The next day I went back to his grandmother's to see if he would play with me, but I couldn't find him anywhere, so I knocked on her kitchen door and asked if she had seen him around. The look on her face wasn't one I'd expected. It was a look of shock and sadness, and she asked, "How did I know him? Where did I get that name from?" I just looked at her confused and said, "He's your grandson." She gasped and invited me in, and once I was inside, she handed me a framed photo and asked me if I recognized the boy. I said of course I did. It was Justin. I was really confused by this point. And so she sat me down at the table and told me the story of how her grandson had died in a terrible accident years before we had even moved to the area. Justin had slipped and fell off of the second level of the hay barn, and he had died instantly, snapping his neck. At first I didn't believe her, as I was sure she had seen us around the farm. She said no, she had seen me running around and quite enjoyed me being there, as it made her remember the fond memories she had of kids running around, and since his death, there just wasn't any kids around. It was at this point I realized that Justin always called out to me when I was walking up the path to visit her, and then I would run off and play with him. We had sat and talked for a while as she wanted to know everything about what we had done. When I told her about the quad bike, she laughed and said he always loved that thing, but it had sat in the shed since the accident and would not run anymore. I also told her about rolling down the hill, but she had no idea who Melissa was. Anyway, it was getting late and I had to go home. As I left, I noticed the go-kart in the garden. It was not shiny red as I remembered it, but a rusted, faded orange with wheels half stuck in the ground, as if it had stopped working years ago. I asked her if that was his, and she said yes. She said she couldn't bear to get rid of it, so she just made it a permanent part of the garden. I never saw Justin after that, but I was always keeping a diary of sorts hidden under a bridge in a waterproof container with a pen, and every now and again I would discover writing that wasn't mine, until I had moved out in a hurry and couldn't take it with me. Years later, I was going through my file and I saw Justin's name along with Melissa's, and my social worker had written that I had a wonderful imagination and that due to my loneliness and isolation, I had invented them as my imaginary friends, as no children lived anywhere near me. I know they weren't imaginary, as I remember them so vividly, and in the case of Justin, I wasn't the only one who remembered him. Also, how could I play such a dangerous game on the quad by myself? That thing had a cutoff switch that would have stopped the moment the driver got off. So how could I chase it unless Justin was driving? And also, how did I know how to drive it? as she stated that it doesn't run. Also, she is a smart, caring woman. She would not have let me do something so dangerous. So where did I go? Where she couldn't have seen me as I was driving around the front paddock, only a few meters from her house. So many questions left unanswered, but I do know this. I miss my crazy friend. Okay, so we have this road that leads from our town to a highway that has a McDonald's on it. So we have to go all the way out to the highway when the kids want McDonald's. One evening we had to go and get food, and we were coming back on the same 2-lane highway. And it had just gotten to where we needed headlights on. We were about a mile down and the truck was coming towards us. We slowed down because my husband and I saw something, and it's weird to try and explain, but it was like the size of a wolf, but whatever it was reminded me of the predator when he went invisible. We could see it, but it looked like the road and part of the grass. I had slowed down and I was looking at it, trying to figure out what was going on, and it turned its head towards us because we could see the cloaking thing shift. The truck coming towards us saw it also because it slowed down, and the predator wolf thing shot across, and it just looked nuts, just like when the predator moved in the movies, how you could see it but you couldn't. I looked up and watched the driver of the truck watch it, and he was kind of shut up in his seat, and both of our heads shot to the side when it shot off. We all just sat there. We slowly pulled to each other, and I was hesitant to even roll my window down at that point, but thought, well, it's going to go through his truck to get to us first. The driver of the truck said, "What was that? Did you see it try and hide what it really looked like by trying to blend in?" That's when I knew it really did have a cloaking looking thing going on. We agreed on everything and drove on. The whole time I was watching mirrors and windows, waiting for it to attack since we had seen it. Made it home and would not go back out that way for a year. We've talked about it around here before, and a few others have described the same thing before. I even mentioned the predator cloaking thing. What could it be? This is Native American land, and my dad's tribe is who land it is, but I've asked a few elders, and they always say not to ask about things, or they will hear you talking about them and pay you a visit. That's kind of like them saying not to whistle at night, eat in the dark, or leave your hairbrush with hair in it. Just the way we were raised, but I need to know what it was.
Folks, I hope you all enjoyed this night ending bonus as much as I enjoyed sharing it with you. I'd like to thank you all for supporting the channel. It is, after all, your support that helps this channel to continue to grow and go, and what gives us all a place and a chance to share our experiences and theories judgment-free. Everyone is simply treated with the respect that we deserve. Please, everyone, stay safe, happy, healthy, and ever vigilant, keeping an eye on our children, pets, family, and friends. These creatures are real. These events have happened. Share this information with those you love and care about, and it may just help save their lives someday. Until next time, never stop asking questions, never stop searching for the truth, and God bless you all.